Good morning! I'm Missy. Good afternoon. I've been over there taking a nap and I got all mixed up on the time. Yes, you surely did, but we did have a good nap. We got a good story. I tell you what, it's gonna do it now. Digging ditches. Digging ditches. It don't sound like much fun to me. It doesn't sound like fun to me, but I'm gonna tell you why. We find out in our story today it was important to dig ditches. You don't understand it, then I'm ready to listen. I know, Chesley, we're gonna tell this together. It happens in 2 Kings chapter 3. I'm going to sing. Oh, that's right. You have to sing. This is our theme song. This gospel train is chugging at the track, chugging at the track, it's chugging at the track. This gospel train is chugging at the track, chugging to the glory land. Yes, it is. It's chugging to the glory land. Get on board this gospel train. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Get on board this gospel train. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And what we're going to do in heaven, gonna see Jesus up in the glory land, gonna see Jesus up in the glory land. Yes I am, yes I am, yes I am. Oh, get on board this gospel train, yes you can, yes you can. This gospel train is chugging at the train, chugging at the train. Yes, Chelsea. Okay, so we get the message. Chugging at the train, this gospel train is chugging at the train, chugging to the glory land. All right, so everybody knows that. This gospel train is chugging to the glory land, but it is good to have our theme song every Sunday. Chesley, in our Bible story today, it is taken from 2 Kings chapter 3. Oh, and there was somebody got in trouble. Yes, somebody got in trouble. Did you know, Chesley, in life, this seems like trouble will happen. It's just the way it is. And sometimes you can kind of cause your own. That's exactly right. Sometimes we can make our own trouble. We don't intend to. We don't intend to, maybe. But it happens, and then we have to make some choices. Sometimes it's our bad choice that caused it in the first place. That's it. Our bad choice sometimes caused it in the first place. But Chesley, let's get right on into this story. In 2 Kings chapter 3, there was a king of Israel named Jehoram, and his dad was Ahab. Oh, he was wicked, and his wife was wicked. Her name was Jezebel. Yes, Jezebel was very wicked too. But now here was this man, and he wasn't being faithful to the Lord. It didn't seem like at this time he was quite as bad as his dad. Oh, I tell you what, his dad, he was really wicked. Yes, he was extremely wicked. And his son should have learned. His son should have learned not to be like that. But at any rate, Chesley, he realized he had some trouble because after his dad died, one of the kings that had been a subordinate, what does that word mean? Well, he was having to serve the king of Israel. At that time was Ahab. Well, after King Ahab died, he thought, he thought he didn't have to nine that kid. Oh, he thought, here comes this his son in, and so I'll just, he's new as the king, and I'll just rebel. And he wasn't going to serve him. That's right. He said, I'm not going to serve him. His name was Misha, and he was the king of Moab, and he decided that I'm just absolutely not going to have anything to. I'm not going to serve. I'm not going to serve him. I'm not going to do it. And he said, I'm just going to rebel, and that's what he was determined to do. What did Jehoram do? Well, Jehoram got scared, and he thought, oh, I don't know what in the world that I can't handle this, and I'm new at this. I know he's going to get some help. He's going to get some help. That's right. When you get in trouble, you get in help. You get you some help. And so what he did, he said, I'm going to go get Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah. No, he's going to help him. And does he know that God? Yes. Now, Jehoshaphat was a man that knew about God and would live for God, but he had one major problem. He knew what was in. What was the deal? Well, Chesley, he didn't always check things out. He just said yes ahead of time. When somebody asked him something, he didn't find out the details. And so did he get in some trouble? It got him in trouble more than once. But at this time, he said, well, yeah, he would sure go help him. Yes, he would. He would do that. No, he didn't pray about it. He didn't make any plans of any kind. He just said yes. And then what happened? Well, he got in some trouble. He realized very early on, and they called in, so this king, Jehoram, he thought he needed more help. So he got another king to help him, and he said to this king of Edom, I need you to help me. And so they banded together, and they started down. They had made up their mind at the direction they were going to go. Chesley had been going 7 days. Oh, 7 long days, and where is this enemy king in no land? Well, there, all of a sudden they noticed, before they could find him, they thought, we're out of water. No, you gotta have water. You can't live without water. You can't live, and neither can their animals, Chesley. You know, they didn't have cars that ran on gasoline or diesel. They had, you know, mules and horses and things like that. And they didn't have anything to drink. You know, it's kind of like their fuel. Yeah, that's their fuel, and they had to eat, but they had no water. You don't have water, you can't live. Oh, what are they going to do? They're in a fix. Oh, it was a horrible thing. And so Jehoram, you know, he really wasn't a man of prayer, but Jehoshaphat knew how to pray. He'd gotten himself in this mess. You know, Chesley, it's important that we think things through before we jump into something. But if we do get in a mess like this, you know, I think you still need to call on God. Is he going to just tell him, forget it, you got yourself in it? God didn't like what he had done, but he does know that people are not always wise. And he knew the man needed help. I think he did the right thing. He did the right, I'm telling you, you're right. Jehoshaphat did the right thing. He was in trouble. He had made the wrong choice himself, but God was the helper. God would help him. He was in a fix. And you know what Jehoshaphat just said to Jehoram? He said, isn't there a prophet here? I need to hear from God's man. Did anyone know anyone? Did Jehoram? Jehoram might not have known, but he had a man in his army that said, I know somebody. No, and Joshua said, who is it? I'm ready. Jehoshaphat was ready. Who is this man of God? And he said, well, do you remember the prophet Elijah? And he said there was that young prophet that succeeded him, and he was always there with, with Elijah. He did everything that Elijah did. He helped him. Oh, that was Elisha. Oh, where is he? And he said, I know where he is. And they said, let's get him. Let's get him here. You know what Elisha did? You know, he scolded him. Well, I don't know that he scolded him. But he said, I need somebody to sing some songs about God. Sing something that magnifies. And what does that mean? Well, it tells it just how great God is. And this man began to play on his musical instrument. Was it a piano? I don't know what it was. I don't think they had pianos then. But he began to play on his instrument. And as he did, Elisha began to feel the Spirit of God move on him. You know, and he had the answer. God gave him the answer. And so Elisha said, this is the answer. Oh, they were listening. Oh, I think they said, what is it? What is it? Oh, God's going to send in the planes. No, God wasn't going to send in airplanes. They didn't have airplanes. But what he said, here is the plan. Get the armies together. And he said, dig this valley full of ditches. What? Gonna dig ditches? Not me. Oh, no, Chesley. It was going to be you if you had been there. He said to all of those soldiers, you mean the captains and the sergeants, whatever your name, rank, or serial number was, didn't matter. It said, get to filling this valley full of ditches. Build a bunch of ditches. Just dig those trenches. No, I think it would be so tiring. And what's the sense of that? What's the sense of it? You know, Chesley, God doesn't do things the way we think maybe he should do it. You know, God has battle plans you could never think of on your own. You just couldn't. It sounded like a battle plan. You sounded crazy. It did sound crazy. But Elisha said, do it. Some of those people probably did think that. They probably said to their general or whoever was there, that one in charge of them, they were saying, they didn't want to do it. You're not going to do it. You're silly. It makes no sense. They might have thought it makes no sense. But you know what? This man of God had heard from God, and God was going to do things his way. If he was in trouble, you better do what he said. You're already in a big mess. You don't have a chance. Oh, and I tell you, Jehoram thought, he said, here's these armies that come against me. I'm in this really bad trouble. I don't have a chance. And he was ready to dig some ditches. Guys, just dig the ditches. It's the only thing I know to do. And that's what this man Jehoshaphat was saying to Jehoram. That's right, get to digging ditches. And they dug that valley full of ditches. They're needing some rain. They needed some rain. They didn't have any rain. And the Lord said, there's not going to be any wind. He told the prophets, not going to be any wind. There's not going to be any rain. But you're going to see these valleys, these ditches. something's going to happen. And you know what it did, Chesley? You know what happened. Where's the water? There's not going to be any wind or rain. I said, no rain is coming in. So what in the world? How's it going to happen? And so, but you know what? It did happen, Chesley. The valley was full. Those ditches were full. The valley was full of ditches, and where every valley every ditch was that they had dug, there was water in it. There was water in it. Oh my, their horses, their cattle, everything that they had, and the men, they had plenty to drink. But you know what? The next morning, when the sun was shining on that, I don't know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. The enemy is going to fall in the ditches. They're going to break their legs. You think the enemy's going to see that? They're going to fall in those ditches and break their legs. No. You know what happened? They looked out there and the sun was shining on that water in there. They were still thought they drank it up? No, they didn't drink it all up. The Lord supplied plenty. There was plenty for this army to look at, and the way the sun was shining on it looked red like blood. No, they think it's in a battle. They said, why? Said that the armies, they got into a big battle themselves. They've killed themselves. That's what this is. It's blood. It's their blood. It's horrible. And so they said, let's go in for the battle. Let's go in for a battle. It would be a battle of who can get whatever that belonged to all these people. Who can get the most. They headed in there and they found out, the army wasn't dead. No, they was alive and ready for them. They was alive and ready for battle. And they went to battle. I mean, they won. And that was because that this man named Jehoshaphat turned his face to the Lord. And he put his faith and his trust and confidence in God. Even when he needed this. Even when he made a mess. He didn't say, I can't call on God because I've made a horrible mistake. He acknowledged he did make a horrible mistake, but God was his only help. And it wasn't just him. Look at all these armies. They needed the help of God. And God did help them, and victory did come. Oh, I'm telling you what, I think God is the master planner. God is a master planner. He's just the master of us all. How we love him and thank him for the privilege to know him and to serve him. All right, Chesley, so you never know what God might have you do. Now, you might get to dig a ditch. You might have been a ditch digger. But who would have dreamed such a thing that God could do and answer prayer? So maybe just put our faith and trust in God, and he will help us. You dig a ditch? He's never had me to dig a ditch. I've never had him direct me to do that. But if he did, the type thing to do is to dig the ditch. But Chesley, it's important that we have good friends. Be careful who we hang around with. The parents have many times told children, don't play with this person, or say they don't be around them because they're a bad influence. You don't want you in trouble. Don't want us in trouble. But Jehoshaphat, he didn't keep quiet when he got in trouble. He said, God is the answer. He was a good example after he did get into trouble. And right now, Chesley, it's time for you to go to bed. I know what you're getting around to. I'm supposed to be obedient. You're supposed to be obedient. It's a good thing. And so right now, we're going to say goodbye to everybody. I'm so glad I got to hear get out of this crazy trunk. Oh, Chesley, just don't talk about the crazy trunk with the skunk in it. No skunks in it. Chesley, you're just saying that. All right, tell everybody goodbye. And where's Georgie? Georgie Porgy did help us get set up today, but he's left, so we're going to reach over here. Can I reach over there? No, you're not going to reach over there. I could bump it with my head. You could bump it with your head, but you would just knock the tablet over. So I'm just going to put you down real easy like. Oh, let me down easily. Don't drop me. I'm not going to drop you, Chesley. I've got to reach over here and turn this off. I could tell another story. No, you're not going to tell another story. I can next week. Yes, you can next week. We'll see you, Chesley. Goodbye, everyone. We love you, and we'll see you next time. May the Lord bless you and keep you until next Sunday afternoon. Goodbye.